And moving forward, the second hearing of the impeachment case against President Yoon Suk Yeol took place as scheduled despite a request for postponement placed by the president's defense team amid his arrest the day prior. For details, I have Oh Soo-young standing by live. Soo-young, let's start with the prosecution's allegations and the defense team's arguments.
Sure, Sunny. Good afternoon. So today at the courtroom, we saw fiery opinions exchanged here over whether the president's martial law on December 3rd could be justified, with each side representing the executive and the legislature accusing each other of undermining the constitutional order and abusing power. The National Assembly's impeachment panel said they set out 5 grounds for impeaching President Yoon, declaring that his martial law decree disrupted the country's constitution and democracy. They argued that there were no conditions in which a martial law decree could be justified, saying that it could only be triggered by the president under the constitution only in times of national crises such as war or conditions akin to war. The panel also said that Yoon violated the procedure of declaring the decree by not having properly gone through cabinet approval. Panel members further claimed that Yoon tried to paralyse the functions of government by aiming to prevent a motion to lift martial law and tried to block political activities, gatherings and press freedom. The Assembly side further said Yoon tried to undermine the independence of the National Election Commission and tried to detain judicial figures. Meanwhile, Yoon's lawyers questioned the impeachment process itself and emphasised the context in which the president felt forced to declare the fateful decree. The lawyers insisted that the president was initiating peaceful martial law, as they said, against the opposition-led parliament's series of attacks and impeachment motions against the incumbent government. They also argued that martial law should not be subject to judicial review, calling it an act of governance that can be exercised by the president. Yoon's side also raised suspicions about election fraud and claimed it was the president's duty to try and protect the constitutional order from the National Election Commission, which had refused investigations. The team reiterated their position that the National Assembly's move to remove the debate over insurrection charges from the trial undermines its legitimacy, as the Assembly cited insurrection as a major reason for impeachment in their resolution.
Right, I see. And Soo-young, for very clear reasons, the second hearing also proceeded in the absence of the president, right?
That's right. On Thursday, the Constitutional Court dismissed President Yoon's lawyers' request to postpone the second trial hearing, a request that they made given his 48-hour detainment for questioning, which began on Wednesday. And the court's press officer, Chun Jae-yeon, said that the judges, the full bench of justices, had discussed the issue, and they agreed that the reason that Yoon's team presented did not justify a postponement of the trial hearing. She said that since the trial has already begun, any objections to its commencement can be considered implicitly dismissed, adding that the scheduling is at the court's discretion. Regarding the president's request to challenge the legality of a second warrant to detain him for questioning, the Constitutional Court stated that it would continue to deliberate on the matter. Now, the next trial hearing for President Yoon's impeachment will be held next Tuesday at 2 p.m.
I see. All right, Soo-young, thank you for that coverage. That was our Oh Soo-young reporting live from the Constitutional Court.